Hello everyone, my name is Charles and I go by the round mound of Zepbound. This is my update for my 54th week on a GLP-1 medication using both Zepbound and compounded tirzepatide. This was an odd week. So when we last left off, I had just completed week 54. I weighed in at 204.9 and that was on January 24th when I did my weigh-in. And this week during week 55, I had travel plans to go to Portland to be present for one of my former teammates being inducted into our school's Hall of Fame. So shout out to him. That was a great trip. I got to see a lot of my teammates that I haven't seen in nearly 30 years. So it was great to catch up with them and talk about their families and what they've been doing during that time frame. And in addition to that, I was able to see my kids and my grandchild. So it was, all in all, it was a great trip. However, because I was traveling, I was not able to weigh in on Friday like I normally would have. So I would have weighed in on January 31st, but because I was traveling and I didn't pack a scale purposely, I did not do my official weigh-in. But I did not travel with my medication this time, and that was purposeful. I wanted to extend the time frame in between shots to see how that would help me on my maintenance journey, kind of a test run. So I went 10 days in between injections. The last injection was January 24th, and then I did my next injection on February 3rd, which worked out pretty well for me. So I did weigh in on Wednesday the 29th before heading to the airport, and I weighed in at 203.5. So I lost 1.4 pounds from Friday the 24th through January the 29th. So that loss was a little concerning going into my trip. As you know, I've been trying to not lose any more weight and also gain weight, trying to get back into that 205-pound range so I can be somewhere between 205 and 215, giving me that 10-pound band for a margin of error. When I saw that number on the scale, I was even more emphatic about not taking my medication with me on this trip. So when I did get up to Portland that Thursday, the next day, I was able to get together with the fellas, and I had my first drink in over a year. The top of my refrigerator is filled with liquor bottles. I love whiskey, and I have not had a sip of liquor in over a year. So I was kind of curious about how that would play out. I hadn't had a desire to drink it. I always think about drinking it, but it never turns into action. But being on this trip and being around, my teammates and reminiscing about old times, I had a few drinks. I had probably 3 to 4 drinks on Thursday night. And what I did find interesting is when I woke up on Friday, I got an alert from my Apple Watch that my heart rate was elevated during my sleep. And I believe that's because of the liquor intake. And I've never had an alert like that before and didn't have any other subsequent nights. But I did have 1 drink on Friday night and 1 drink on Saturday night, but nothing to the level that I had on Thursday night. So I think getting the alcohol in my system for at least that amount of alcohol, especially after not drinking in a year, did elevate my heart rate while I was sleeping. So I did eat normal foods, not my normal regimen, but I did go out to eat a lot. I had breakfast sandwiches from a food cart in downtown Portland just about every day. Went out for breakfast and got an omelet with some hash browns. So I did enjoy myself as far as food goes. Did not restrict anything per se. I did not feel any additional hunger, considering that I did not do my weekly injection like I should have on Friday, or normally would have done on Friday. So that did not seem to impact the amount of food that I was eating or any of the food noise. So I was real thankful about that. However, I did get back into town on Sunday night just before midnight, and I did not weigh in on Monday, which I had originally planned to, but because I didn't get a lot of sleep, of course, over the weekend, and also Sunday night going into Monday, because I did not get in until midnight and I had to get up to go to work on Monday morning. I did not get a lot of sleep, so weighing in was probably the last thing on my mind. However, I did do an injection, so that gave me that 10-day window between injections. And I did weigh in on this morning, which is Tuesday the 4th, and my weight this morning was 204.8. So I did get back up to the weight that I was at on January 24th. So I gained that 1.4 that I had lost after taking the injection on the 24th and going into the 29th. So that is a good thing. So I don't know if that is because of the 10-day window in between injections or because of the food and the liquor that I consumed over the weekend. Now, I must say that I did continue to work out while on the trip. I worked out on I did work out on Thursday morning. I did some cardio and some strength training, and because of the amount of liquor and food that I was taking, I did some cardio on Saturday. Normally Saturday is a rest day, and then I did some more cardio and strength training on Sunday morning. So I think that did help. But that's where things stand at the moment. With this weigh-in of 204.8, I am down 0.1 pounds from my last weigh-in on January 24th. That puts me 110.3 pounds down since starting on January 12th of 2024, which represents 35% weight loss, or 35% loss from my starting weight. And that also marks 153.2 pounds down from my highest weight in 2014. Before I wrap, I do want to give a shout out to Twan over at the channel of Traces of Twan's Life. Gave me a shout out in one of her recent videos because I had made a comment on one of her videos. She was seeing a fluctuation in her weight as the week went on, and I had commented that I had noticed the same thing on my journey. You know, I normally take my shot on Friday, and I would see the weight loss that I would get for the week between the shot on Friday and Sunday and Monday of that week. Because I weigh in every single day, or just about every single day, I knew how my weight fluctuated throughout the week. So I would see that decline after 3 or 4 days after the injection, and then as the week went on, and because the medication has a half-life of 5 days, the strength starts to wane as you get closer to when you should take your next injection on day 7. So usually around Wednesday or Thursday, the hunger, I shouldn't say the hunger, but I have the ability to eat more calories than I would at the start of the week after the injection. My weight starting to increase as the week went on. I would go harder on Wednesday and Thursday, knowing that I have to weigh in on Friday before I took my next injection, in order to maintain the weight loss that I had seen going into Sunday or Monday after taking the injection. In order to maintain that loss, I would pick up the intensity of my workout on Wednesdays and Thursdays, because I knew that I was going to be able to eat more calories. So in order to maintain that level of deficit, I increased the workout. So I commented that on her video, and she tried it out herself, and she lost 3.8 pounds doing that week. So big shout out to her and her journey. I believe she's well over 100 pounds down now. Jump over and give her a follow and say hi. And it just meant a lot to me that I was able to help someone out, because there was a point in time that I was not that engaged on this YouTube channel, because I didn't seem like I was getting the reach that I was getting over on TikTok. So I was pouring my efforts into TikTok. And recently I've had a lot of comments from people like Twan, or people that have subscribed to my channel, that tell me that they find inspiration in my story and my journey. They love seeing a man talk about these medications and their health journey, and a few that have commented that they love seeing a black man talking about this journey, because I can identify when I first started this journey, I was hard pressed to find a man on this journey, and I didn't find any black man. And if you know anything about our community, we want to know who else is using this medication, because we want to make sure that we're not falling in some Tuskegee experiment again. We want to know who's all doing this thing. So when we see somebody that looks like us, that has same cultural identity and same health challenges that we may face because of our ethnicity, it does a lot to promote promote the efficacy of these medications and get people on these medications so they can change their health outcomes. So I really thank Twan and Olly and everyone else that has made those comments over the last few weeks, that has energized me to pour a little more into this YouTube channel. So that is my update for the week. We're going to try to do another 10-day window and see how that goes. I did my injection yesterday, so I have to go 10 days from yesterday and see how things go. And I will do my official weigh-in on this Friday and keep you guys updated. So thanks for tuning in. If you haven't done so already, please like and subscribe, and I will see you next week.